Take a look at this. We are showing among likely voters a 12-point advantage for Gillum, 54% to 42%. Every poll in this race since the primary in August has shown Gillum leading. A month ago, Quinnipiac University had him at a 9-point lead. We have him today in a 12-point lead.
This new polling out today shows Andrew Gillum pulling ahead of Ron DeSantis in the race for governor. Gillum crossed the 50% threshold and now leads DeSantis 54 to 45% among likely voters.
Right now, Gillum leads with 50% to DeSantis 43%.
Women and independent voters are the main drivers of Gillum's 9-point lead.
At the end of the day, my prediction, probably not a big surprise based on all the data that we've gone over in this video. I am siding with the Democrats and Andrew Gillum, the candidate that the Republican strategists were most worried about. And my prediction is having him probably around about a 5-point margin is what I'm going to place it at.
Look at that. 60% of women are going for Gillum. That is a 26-point advantage over DeSantis. Look at that. You see that DeSantis only has a 7-point advantage among men over Gillum. So that overwhelming support from women is having an impact here.
Look at the Quinnipiac poll released Monday morning. It attributes a 7-point advantage for Gillum to no party voters breaking his way.
Look at that.
For Gillum, 59% of women overall favor him, as well as 59% of Hispanic voters. Those are big numbers.
Look at that.
The Quinnipiac spread seems to be an outlier. An average of recent polls gives Gillum the edge, but by 3 in the margin of error and a statistical tie.
DeSantis is dismissing the poll numbers. He says the polls were wrong about President Trump 2 years ago. In Florida, voters have a history of defying predictions.
Everyone knows my husband, Ron DeSantis, is endorsed by President Trump, but he's also an amazing dad. Ron loves playing with the kids.
Build the wall.
He reads stories.
Then Mr. Trump said, "You're fired." I love that part.
He's teaching Madison to talk.
Make America great again.
People say Ron's all Trump, but he is so much more.
Big league. So good.
I just thought you should know.
Well, Congressman Ron DeSantis rode the Tea Party wave straight to D.C. He's a Fox News regular with an Ivy League degree and military service.
Look at that.
Ron DeSantis, Iraq War veteran, JAG officer who dealt with terrorists in Guantanamo Bay. The guts to fight establishment politicians in both parties, to drain the swamp. 100% pro-life, leading the charge against illegal immigration. Taxpayers' superhero.
Is DeSantis pro-life? That statement is true. And here's why. Vote Smart dug into this and based on his speeches and also his voting record decided that yes, DeSantis is in fact pro-life. Now the next one is DeSantis leading the charge against illegal immigration. The Truth Meter says that one's also true. Numbers USA, an organization that wants lower immigration numbers in this country, gave the congressman an A+ score. All in all, a truthful ad.
Ron DeSantis is another one. He worked so hard. Then he called me, he said, "Sir, I'd like to run for governor." I said, "Governor? I don't want you to run. I like you staying." "No, I want to run for governor." And I said, "Well, if you have to, I'd like your support." I said, "How can I support you? You're at 3. He was at 3. He had no money. Somebody else was at 38, and they had 22 million cash, right? I said, "Look, if it's important, I'll do it," because he's been another great warrior. And
backed by the big man himself, President Trump says Ron DeSantis is a, quote, brilliant leader and an absolute warrior.
I'm an Iraq veteran, served in the Navy. You know, I've been a proven conservative leader, and my actions back up my reality.
And you know what? You put the mayor of Tallahassee, take a look at the bad job he's doing in Tallahassee. You put him here, he'll destroy Florida in 1 year or 2 years if he's doing a good job.
In the photos, he was naked, unconscious, lying in his own vomit in a Miami hotel room with another man who was overdosing.
Miami Beach police say he was inside a hotel room along 1100 West Avenue where a man was treated for a possible drug overdose. That man was taken to a hospital.
Police said they could not talk to Gillum because he was too inebriated.
In the police report, 3 bags of crystal meth were found on the bed and floor of the hotel room.
You put it out there is whether or not I identify as gay, and the answer is I don't identify as gay, but I do identify as bisexual.
Who are the best governors in the country. We don't really need to guess. Just ask yourself, where are people moving? Are they moving to Michigan? Are they moving to New York? Are they moving to California? All great states, but run by total incompetence, political hacks, corrupt people. No, they're moving to Florida, actually. People who want to live a free American life are moving to Florida.
60 Minutes accusing the governor of pay-to-play, highlighting campaign finance reports that show Publix donated $100,000 to the governor's political action committee.
60 Minutes report that Ron DeSantis is bad because he authorized the supermarket chain Publix to distribute the corona vaccine in Florida. And he did that for one reason. Publix donated money to Ron DeSantis. Is that real? Well, no. First, the head of Florida's Emergency Management Department, who's a Democrat, tweeted that his division, not the governor's office, had recommended Publix. Okay, so it's clearly not true. Then it emerged that 60 Minutes deceptively edited their reporter's exchange with Ron DeSantis.
So now that he shows such promise, they're trying to take him out. Now, consider this. Publix is a great big grocery store chain, and Governor DeSantis arranged with his team to have the COVID vaccine. I guess that's one of the places where you can get it. Now, at some point, Publix gave the campaign of Ron DeSantis some money. Guess what? They do that with Democrats, too, right? Money, politics, they kind of go together. But 60 Minutes is trying to take him out because,
this seems to be actually an intentional setup for him by CBS.
Well, and it is. And you also have the Democrat mayor of Palm Beach County who has said as much. He put out a statement and said that this was intentionally misleading, that they left out his side of the story because it would kneecap the entire hit piece from 60 Minutes. And the piece was intended to divide and was intended to drive clicks and likes. And he is absolutely right. But this puts us in a place right now, Mark, where we are with the media, where we're really living in a post-truth world between this story and what we saw with the Georgia's election laws and the blatant lies that the media has been driving about that. We've arrived at a post-truth world. The media, at least at one point, tried to feign objectivity, try to feign, being in the middle to some degree. And now they're just pushing complete falsehoods to try to help the Democratic Party and to hurt Republicans. And I think President Trump was absolutely right when he said, look, the media is the enemy of the people. Fake news is the enemy of the people. But he's true, because how much damage has the media done over the past few years? I mean, even going back to the 2014 Hands Up, Don't Shoot with Michael Brown, that was a lie. Even Obama's own DOJ found it to be a lie. That has led to intense racial division in the country, yet they push that lie, a known lie. You look at things like the Charlottesville lie about President Trump did great harm to him in his presidency. That was a lie, yet it was continued to be pushed. And even on the coronavirus, you look at the fear-mongering that has been driven by the media, left out context, left out nuance, that has led to the result of businesses being closed, of draconian policy measures being taken. So we're really at a dangerous place right now where the truth doesn't seem to matter to a lot of people.
Well, President Biden builds on momentum for his COVID bill and winning over most Republican voters.
Oh,
that was your mother.
DeSantis is playing politics with life and death vaccines. The Miami Herald reporting on a possible bout of special vaccine treatment for a wealthy Florida Keys enclave that's filled with Republican donors who got vaccines in January.
The fact that you're wealthy means that God loves you, and God must surely want wealthy white people to be first in line to get the vaccine. I mean, it makes total sense if you think like they do.
They didn't tell you that we were doing African-American church vaccination drives before Publix ever gave a single shot. They didn't tell you that. They didn't tell you that hospitals were doing shots starting in the third week of December because it didn't fit the narrative.
And I'm not surprised that we having this thing with the vaccine. I'm not at all surprised. The only thing that kind of surprised me more is we hadn't had more, but I suspect that we're going to uncover a lot more before we're done.
And obviously they were in Florida for 3 months, 60 Minutes, trying to drudge up any dirt that they could use to smear me. And the best they could come up with is a baseless conspiracy theory that was easily debunked, not just by me, which they had to edit out, but by two very prominent Democrats in the state of Florida.